What's going on, everyone? So, I talked about recently in Scream 7. Like, will they be able to build up the tension for the characters, right? They really dropped the ball when you're talking about the big three, right? The original OG three, right? The whole point of killing Dewey was to make you feel like no one is untouchable, right? Dewey, he dies. You get into Scream 6, and all of a sudden, you get into that scene in that moment where Gale Weathers is being attacked, and you're like, oh no, here goes Gale. Gale's about to die too. And you get to that point where it's like, okay, everything's like now the only one that's left is Sidney Prescott. And is she even safe? Right? Like that was the whole point. You take out Dewey to show it's a new studio, a new writers, it's new everything. And they don't have the ties or the emotions to Sidney, Gale, and Dewey like we do, and like Wes do, and like Kevin do. And whether we really believe that they would ever kill off Sidney or not, it didn't matter. It still was in your mind, right? Seeing Gale, you actually felt concern. Big difference of having characters, and building tension and having that anxiety and all the things for a good scene. It's another thing when you have genuine concern. When those doors closed on Dewey, we all had genuine concern. You felt in the pit of your stomach, whether you knew it was coming or not, you felt it immediately that this is it. Dewey's about to meet his end. And that feeling, will they be able to replicate that since they went back on it in Scream 6, right? If you do kill Gale, right? Well, then now you don't have that problem. But the problem is, not only did you allow Gale to survive, where you could go, okay, fine, you let everyone survive. Chad gets brutally butchered and still manages to walk it off. You have Mindy, all of these guys, like no one of substance died. And so the question is, do you have to now kind of do something drastic and extreme again? And something that I wouldn't mind is, do you lead viewers to believe that Sidney is dead? We know Scream 8 is coming, right? We know that has been greenlit, and they're probably going to do another one, but I don't think personally that they greenlit Scream 8 immediately after greenlighting Scream 7. So it wasn't like they greenlit Scream 7 and they announced it right before Scream 8. No, literally, we got the announcement for Scream 7 and Scream 8 was already greenlit. Right? So to me, I think that this is going to be the setup film. I think this is going to be the establishment film. I think this is the film that's going to bleed into Scream 8. And if you put Sidney in a compromised position, I'm not saying you have to actually kill her. But what I'm saying is that if now we at the end of Scream 7 think maybe Sidney made a sacrifice or something like that to save her daughter or something, to where we think she is dead, I think that is something that could really kind of reset things. Right? And especially could be a way to kind of prop up Tatum a little more. If to start the film, Tatum is kind of the main focus and everything. And we're all like, what happened? Is Sidney really die? Like, what is going right? Like, and we all have that anxiety again, that buildup again. Think of just the conversation and the media and all the attention that would garner, right? And you got to keep in mind a couple things. One, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson wanted to kill Sidney on several occasions. Two, they originally were going to do this idea at the end of Scream 4. And Scream 4, the original idea was that the police and everybody go in there and go, oh, we got a live one here. And you didn't know if it was Sidney or Kirby. And they were going to kind of wait to see what the backlash was and what the conversation was, and then decide kind of how they felt. Because remember, after Randy died, there was a lot of buzz about like that. And this was pre-social media. So, imagine what it'd be like now, right? So, to me, it's not something that they've been opposed to before. It's something that they've had the idea on several occasions of killing Sidney, or at least leaving audiences to believe that she's dead. And not just that, but almost pretty much every horror franchise at this point in the films have had their main character die. Laurie Strode has died on several occasions. Again, I'm not saying you have to actually kill her. You don't have to actually kill her off, right? But if you have it believed that she is, and you actually put some real stakes into it, maybe Gale dies, right? And we're led to believe that Sidney died as well. And it's like, dude, we just saw Gale die. And now it's like, is Sidney dead? And there's no way they killed Sidney. There's no shot, right? Did they really? Again, just imagine that buzz, that draw. And imagine what that would do for the franchise going forward. Again, as far as that angst and anxiety. Like, if they kill Sidney, Tatum isn't safe. Nobody's, or at least if we believe that they killed Sidney, nobody's safe the rest of the way. And then if they have something where Sidney, basically is holding on by a thread and ends up pulling it out or something, right? Like, again, you brought Sidney to literally the brink of death, the closest that she's ever been. You took out Gale, right? Like, you just bulldozed through the stakes. That to me is kind of something that I think that they should explore. That to me is something that I think makes the most sense for this upcoming film. If you really want to get back to that feeling of nobody safe. Because again, every single time Sidney is in a compromised position, I don't care what it is, we know, right, that she's going to make it out. Whether it makes sense or not, she's going to make it out. She's going to survive. We just know it, right? Because she's the final girl, and it's like, they're not going to kill Sidney. And yes, you can still do excellent scenes and excellent build-up scenes and all of that. Like, like you had like Scream 2 and stuff like that. Like, we've had scenes and moments and you can build up, like I said, that anxiety, that angst, that tension. You can build that tension. You can do all of those things. No ands, ifs, buts about. You can absolutely do those things. But again, in the back of everybody's mind, we all know they're not about to kill Sidney. Sidney's safe. She's fine. They're not gonna hurt her. Like, not to that level where they're gonna take her out. Right. So to me, I look at it as like, how do you change the narrative? How do you raise the stakes? How do you add that level that they were trying to go for? Because again, if you kill Dewey and then you continue that into the next film, now all of a sudden there is that. Now it's like, now Sidney's back. Now we're all like, dude, there's no way they're going to kill Sidney too. They killed Dewey in the first one. They killed Gale in the second one. And now Sidney's back. Are they really about to do that? Right now we have that at least in our mind. Now we have that uncertainty. Now we have that genuine concern and that genuine buzz for Sidney Prescott. Now we kind of are in that spot where it's like, okay, maybe now it's like 50-50 rather than like 99-1, right? Like, we know, like, hey, no, they're not going to really kill her. And then it's like, oh my goodness, did they just do that? Where to me, I'd rather have them, leave it open and take out Gale, leave Sidney on a cliffhanger where it could go either way, where it's just up, like what they did with Kirby, where it's kind of up, it's up to your perspective. Sit back, kind of see and have an idea of like what the backlash is, if any, and then take it from there and follow up from there. That's personally what I would do. But as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think like, yes, you got to build some tension, put some pressure, have Sidney kind of feel, feel like this is that kind of build up or something, right? Or do you think, no, you don't need to do that? Right? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.